to Mario himself, Charles Martinet. I think there's a lot of fans in here.
Oh my gosh, this is so lovely. How do I... Oh, first let me say, hello, it's me, Mario. You number one.
And we do. Ho ho! Thank you for playing my game. Whoopee!
And Mario, have a rotten day.
Yahoo!
Oh wait, I forgot. Mommy said,
Say something nice, you brat. There, I said it and I meant it. And Luigi, everybody keep it me.
thank you so much. What an absolute pleasure. What a joy. I just expected everyone was to be watching fireworks by now. You know, having what are those things called with a trailer party before a football game?
Oh, like a tailgate?
A tailgate or something like that before that. Thank you for coming. I'm so shocked and very touched. Thank you very much, you know?
I think we're tailgating with coffee this morning.
No kidding. You know, I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I get to do what I absolutely love to do. Can you guys see okay over there? You're looking at a big monitor? Okay. So then if I look like this, looks like I'm looking at you? I'm not. I'm really looking over there. Okay, so I had never heard of Mario. I had never heard of Nintendo. I hadn't played video games since I was like 19, and I lost every time I played. So that's my enthusiasm level. But a friend of mine, I'm at the beach. This is before there were cell phones, or the phones there were like $5,000 and came in a suitcase. But you know, I'm on the beach there doing what actors do, waiting for the phone to ring. But it's not a phone, but it's a pager. You know, I thought, oh, I'm going to be super like a doctor and get a pager. So my agent can page me. You know, and all of a sudden my pager went off, and I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. I'm reading a book here. I'm on the beach. What am I? And I thought, oh, it's my friend. That must mean dinner time. So I get off I brush the sand off the beach. I put the quarters in the phone. But no, in those days they were pennies. You know, I put my money in the phone. But then I call. You know, I said, hey, buddy, what's going on? I'm thinking dinner, food, right? Obviously, my number one trap, food. So he goes, oh no, man, you got to go crash this audition. It's for a job I'm doing in Las Vegas. I said, I'm a professional actor. I would never crack. Where should I go? So I brushed the sand off, got in the car, went downtown, found a parking space, and I'm walking in the door as the director and the producer are walking out the door. You know, the cameraman, I recognize the Sony Betacam and speed bag. And I go, can I read for this? Because it could have been somebody else. I don't know. He goes, there was a B-A-R next door.
Oh, yum.
Family friend, I just make sure. So he's like, that's where they're going, right? They're like, going, and he's like, oh man, oh yeah. All right, come inside. We'll set the camera back up for you. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn named Mario for a company called Nintendo. I'm like, lovely. And we're doing this real-time animation thing. You're going to wear these things glued to your face, so when you move, that will make the cartoon character move. But they won't see you. You'll have a hidden camera, hidden microphone. You'll be the first performer in the world to talk to people live in real time as a performer or as a cartoon character. But we have no idea if it's going to work or not. So I'm not going to pay you to drink coffee all day. So make up a voice, make up a video game, start talking, and when you run out of things to say, that's your audition. And so I'm thinking to myself, never heard of this thing, no idea what it looks like. Italian plumber from Brooklyn. Hey, get out of my face! I work it here. Go on, get out. And I'm like, okay, if I did that for 8 hours a day, that would not be fun. It would also terrorize children. So I played Gremio and Tammy the Shoot. I used to Italian, man. I was a theater actor, and I was a big ham, le grand jambon, as we say in French. So I was like the oldest man in the world. In those days, I had to sit there in the front of the mirror and spend an hour putting on wrinkles. I got them for free now. Now nobody wants to play an old man anymore. So I think, well, I'll do a voice like that, yeah, hey, it's me, Mario, video games, I don't know anything about video games, like wacka, 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 and boom, boom, which also I always lost. But I thought, well, I'll just make up things about, I don't know, how about food? So I hear action, I go, hello, I'm a Mario. Let's make a pizza pie together. You will get some sausage, I get some spaghetti. We put spaghetti and sausage in the pizza, and then I chase you the pizza. And if I catch you the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza. And I'm expecting, yeah, fine, cut. He didn't say anything. So, and then you're gonna make a pizza. And you put your ingredients in the pizza, then you chase me the pizza, and if you don't catch me with the pizza, I don't have to eat it. But if you catch me with the pizza, then I'll eat it. Then you're gonna make a lasagna. I'm gonna chase the lasagna pan. Up and then if I catch you the lasagna, you got it, and then you're gonna jump in the pan and chase me with the pan. And he never said cut, so being that I'm a brat, which I am, I'm like, well, if this is a battle of wits, I'll see how long I can go. So I went through every pasta I've ever heard of. Then I started making up pasta. Then we're gonna make a rasta tutto lotello. It's a great pasta. And we got a big noodle and a little noodle. And then I'm gonna chase the big noodle, and you have to write in the little noodle. And I just kept going, and till I heard, stop talking. Cut, there's no more tape. Thank you very much, we'll be in touch. Which in actor terms means, there's the door, we'll never see you again. But so I left, I went and had dinner with my friend. He gets on the phone, he calls Nintendo, he goes, I found our Mario, I got him. And that was 33 years ago, 33 years of almost pure joy. Yeah. And then one day I got a call, 5 years of doing Mario live, and I get a call, Mr. Miyamoto would like you to play Mario in a game. I said, let me see if I'm available. Whoopee! So that was Mario 64, but of course I did Mario Teaches Typing and Fundamentals and things like that beforehand. But basically, all of my problems in my life are all self-generated. But I did have one thing that I was very lucky. I always determined that I wanted to be happy and to bring happiness to people and do what I love to do. And I never knew it was going to be acting. I thought I was going to be a lawyer or a psychologist. A psychotic psychologist. Sounds like the cure to me. So, but it just, life happened that way because I kept focusing on, I want to be happy, I want to be happy, I want to be happy. So when I became miserable in the theater, I tried business. I actually failed so marvelously. I had a nervous breakdown and started again, and then I got a phone call. Hey, you want to come and audition for a corporate video? What's a corporate video? It's a video that's corporate. What do I do? Act. Oh, okay then. So I go and do this, and I end up doing 600 of those. And one day I'm doing this commercial. I don't know if you've ever heard of Orchard Supply Hardware, but the American Gothic painting with the old guy with his pitchfork in front of the barn with his wife. So we did that for 9 hours. In those days they didn't have the little broad, multi-spectrum lights. It was like pin lighting. Oh, I want to get his eyes a little bit better. Oh, I make sure the glasses have a little. So 9 hours of doing this, and then you're sweating, and then they have to redo the makeup to get because you're under these hot lights. And at the end of this 9-hour day, and I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive to wherever it was to get it. The guy goes, "Great, well that's it. Hey, by the way, do you do voiceover?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." Now, I'm the type of guy that believed until that moment that Fred Flintstone was a guy. Not an actor, but like a guy, and George Jetson was George Jetson, and it just never really occurred to me that those were people pretending, So he hands me the script, but I pretended for a living, I said, Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. There you go, that's great, here's another $250. I said at that moment, I'm a voice actor. Because that was that's more than I made doing professional theater for 10 years, in a week. 60-hour week, we were performing one show at night and rehearsing the other one during the day, 6 days a week. performance, you know? So that was how I started. So it's not like I was intentional. I was just lucky to keep falling into it. But it's my certain wish for everyone here, every one of you and everyone that you know, that you find out whatever it is that you love to do in life, that you find your joy, your happiness, you know. Feel free to fail as much as you want. I certainly failed so many times. You know, it's part of that marvelous process of life and learning your humanity, the humility of getting up and brushing yourself and doing it again. But you really, you know, it is my absolute belief that it's our human right to do what we love to do in life. To have love, to grow emotionally, or whatever we want to do, as long as we're not harming other people. The only thing that gets in our way is our own negative beliefs. I had this belief: you either make money or you do what you want in life, one or the other. And you have to break that sort of negative belief pattern down, as well as shut that negative voice up that we all have. You know, oh, that wasn't funny enough, that wasn't loud enough, that wasn't good enough, that wasn't this, that, you know, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. We all have that negative voice, and you need, in some capacity, if we're going to evolve to having happiness and having love, we need to learn how to shut that voice down. And it's not easy. It's a lifetime process, but it's worth every second of it, and all the frustration of, oh, got me again. It's really worth it. So anyway, that's my sort of formula for life. And all I wish is you happiness, joy, love, success, abundance, because we're all human. We all deserve it. Absolutely.
I think you definitely accomplished that goal of making all these people's lives a little happier.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, thank you very much. It really is. It's like, that was my intention with Mario. It's like, I wanted to be joyful and happy. You know, I had a great opportunity. We did Mario Teaches Typing, you know, and I'd been doing improv for a couple of years with Mario, you know, and of course you're always experimenting on, you know, what levels of adulthood, what levels of childhood, where are you going with it, you know, is it okay to get away with this, and okay with that, you know, Mario Teaches Typing, you know, it's like, oh, great job, you know, oh, you did well, oh, that's great, but then when it came to failing, it was like, oh, you failed, that was not very good, you have to go back to the beginning and start again, and this time try hard, like, Mario reprimanding someone. He was like 6 years old trying, you know, that was terrible, you know. And I said to the producer, I said, do you mind if I change the words a little bit? And he goes, no, go ahead, you know, because it was Interplay, it wasn't even Nintendo, but they, you know, licensed it. So I said, well, that was great, but I know you can do even better. Let's go again, yippee, you know. And that's when it locked into my brain. That's what Mario never says no. He never is hostile, never mean. You know, even his anger is like, you know, it has to be contained. But then also the villains that I create of the emotional being to have to be like, you know, you know, and the comedy always has to fall back on the villain, you know, because he thinks he's great because he has a gold toilet. Not unlike life. So anyway, so that's what I just wish is that have fun, you know. And if you're not happy, I'm not saying like, oh, I hate this job, I'm just going to leave. Pack your chute, pack your parachute, take care of yourself, because the key is a loving relationship with yourself. So if you're in a loving relationships with somebody and they said, I'm unhappy with my job, go ahead and quit and just try, you know, survive on beans and rice, you know. No, you'd say, well, honey, come on, what else do you love to do? What about this and what about that? And, you know, you ask yourself those questions to make those changes. Because I can tell you, I am like one of the most shy, reserved people in the world. I was the type of person that could walk into a room, if there are 3 people in there, and you would never know I was there, you know. Chronically shy. And I was the type of person, if I ever was at a thing like this, I would be sitting there sweating, thinking, I'm going to ask a question, I'm going to ask a question, then I'd get the microphone, and I'd break into hysterics because I wouldn't be able to speak, you know. So, you can overcome anything.
Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by.
Your mind is such a great tool. Because,
Yes.
you know, to help you with that willpower, the desire to want to push forward through life. And I think your positivity it radiates
Oh,
from
thanks.
you. And
Thank you.
when I was a young kid, I was a very depressed person.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live. I had very, very terrible thoughts. And as I grew up, I had a different perspective on life. And now I never want to die. I want to live all the time and be able to experience this world, because we're very lucky that we don't grow up as a ladybug.
Right?
You know, I can actually
Yeah.
make choices and decide, do I want to go to the beach today? I did see you were in Cabo recently. Were you in Cabo
I was in
recently?
Cabo. I was at this great hotel. Yeah, it was great. Lots of fun. Hot, but it was also windy, so that was like, yippee.
It looked awesome.
Yeah. I love it. It was all great. Yeah. I have a passion for travel. So when I'm not traveling to do one of these shows, I go to visit my brother in San Francisco, my friends over here, my friends over there, and then go places like Cabo, Brazil,
Where's the best place you've been? Yeah, what have you seen that you were a wonder of the world? Did you go to the pyramids?
I love everywhere. Egypt was a special trip because my partner, said, "Look, let's go there." And then, down at the bottom you start, of course, in Cairo, and we started where Churchill and Roosevelt had met during World War II in Giza at this hotel, which is now a Marriott. And you get a room on the 4th floor, and you look out your window, and it's like the pyramids, the Great Pyramids, are right there. It's like you can, I touched it, they're so close. So we did that for a few days in the reflecting pool. You can see the pyramids went around. It's mixed experience. Went down to, oh gosh, now I'm completely forgetting the names of everything. Aswan, we went down to Aswan and to they built the Aswan Dam, which changed the complexion of the Nile forever, which, kind of eliminated a lot of the fertile land that the Nile had been creating for thousands of years. So now Egyptians, they need wheat from Ukraine. So our world is so intertwined. But, when they were doing it, this little boy named Abu Simbel, they were going to build this dam, and it was going to go up 2,000 feet or something. And he goes up to an archaeologist and says, "Hey, mister, want to see what I found?" And he goes, "Sure, let me see." And it was these two sort of shrines to the gods and to Ramses VI. And, twice a year, it's like this, what you have is like a doorway, and then you have gods on either side, guarding, and in each doorway that goes through, you have turkey vultures, which symbolize the transition from death to the new life, and then around there are hieroglyphs everywhere, beautifully preserved, perfect, and then there are antechambers, and there's a little chamber in the very back, and, in the front of this, carved into the mountain, carved into pure stone, is Ramses and his wife, uncharacteristically the same size as he is, and then several gods. And then inside, through this antechamber, there's this room, and there's Ramses and his wife, and a god over here, and two gods over here, and then a god over there, sitting right there. And twice a year, February 27th and October 27th, the light shines through the door, past the gods, past the antechamber, through the second, the third, fourth doorway, into that tiny little room, and the light lights up the whole room. Ramses, his wife, the gods over there, gods are there. The only god that doesn't get lit is the god of darkness. Twice a year. So the dam is going to fill this with water. So the United Nations and the Heritage Foundation spent millions of dollars back in the 60s digging the mountain out and then putting up into this town, which they now call Abu Simbel. And there they are. But after all the technology, all the math of thousands of years of growth and technology, they missed it by one day. And now it's the 28th and the 28th. And the 27th was the day that Ramses was coronated. And the October was the day he was born. So there's 2 days. But it's just incredible. So, usually you stay up in Luxor, and you take a car down, in a what do you call it? Not a brocade, but an escapade, like many cars in a row.
Oh, a convoy?
Convoy. Yeah, you go in a convoy because there are pirates and things on the road. But you can also fly to this little airport, because they leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. They drive for 4 hours to get there. Then, okay, everybody, get out of the cars. Everybody goes in into the thing. Oh, look at God! Oh, look at God! Oh, and go to the other, and they get in the car and then leave at 10 o'clock in the morning to drive back 4 hours. But you can fly and stay on in the hotel that they built for all the engineers and everything who miscalculated, and that's what we did. And so we went there at 10 o'clock in the morning, and there was nobody in there. These thousands of year old marvelous things, and standing there with it, it's just unbelievable.
Did you ever think that when you first started, when you got out of college, and you were like, you're going to be in Egypt doing these kinds of things? I mean, or being here, just with all of these people in this room, would you have ever fathomed your life being like this?
I just never had a clue, We grew up sort of lower middle class America in San Jose, then all of a sudden, boom, I'm living in Spain, and then France, and then England, and then, now overseas, bouncing around, just traveling up.
That's probably where you get your traveling from, is the fact that you guys moved to Spain and then Paris, and that's probably where you got the bug.
Yeah.
We have time for just a few questions, so if you do have a question, there's a mic right over here.
I'm sorry, I
will get to a couple of you before we have to let Charles go. Oh, you're right away. Look at you. Hi.
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 My question is, are you a fan of any other franchises outside of Nintendo or outside of gaming in general?
No. I really literally only played a few Zelda games and Mario games, and that's really it. I mean, that's really, in the last 33 years since I started voicing Mario, 33 years, that is literally it. I can tell you though, it was amazing. One time at CES or E3 or something, I'm walking along and I'm seeing that they have basketball games on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, are those real? The technology has gone so much, it's just unbelievable. So thrilled to be a part of it. I think that Mario 64 changed video games forever because the MIPS RISC processor or whatever it was that they used created the ability to put voice, more graphics, and 3 dimensions into the game. And I think that's a great thing about Nintendo. Always the technology follows the idea. Mr. Miyamoto says, well, what happens if they leave this square and go that way? Well, we can't, because it's okay, let's see. Oh, they can do that. Well, what happens with 3 dimensions? What happens if you get off the couch and you participate? And then they create. That's not how they create. That's how I create.
Thank you.
It really is. I'm much more Luigi than I've ever been Mario. I'll tell you that.
Is that who you play? Who do you play if you're going to play Mario Kart?
I always play Mario.
You always play Mario?
I'm a Mario wannabe.
He's the man you always wanted to be.
That's right. It's absolutely true.
Hi. Hello. Thank you for the question. Hi.
How's it going today?
Great. How are you doing?
Well, good. Quick question, kind of going off of what he was asking. Guess my favorite thing ever is Pikmin. So do you have a favorite Pikmin type by chance?
I love Pikmin. They're adorable. I was in Germany doing a show, and the German Nintendo got little pajamas for everybody. They were Pikmin pajamas. I wore the blue one. I have never looked more stupid. It was great. And there we are, running around going, and I'll tell you, there were beverages involved. And one night I convinced everybody to go bust into the Sony party as Pikmin. So we go in there, run around, and they're like, and we left.
So good.
And then we just left. So yes, I love Pikmin.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Early on trolling. That's what that is.
I was into trolling.
Hi.
Hello. My question is, what is the weirdest project you've ever worked on?
I have never done anything really weird, I don't think. You mean as Mario or as Charles?
Just in general.
Trying to go into business. That was so weird. Because, I've been acting for 10 years. I'm like, I'm an actor, and I wasn't doing theater that was good enough. and I got, you know, from the promise to do Hamlet and, you know, Lear, you know, they gave me like these small parts that I didn't want to, you know, participate because I started the theater, you know. And so I you know, with the theater, and so I went, I'm going to take a year off. I'm going to go into business. I'm going to do business leasing. I will lease computers to the world. A year, not a single sale. We finally got one, and you know, well, we have the lowest rates and the fastest turnarounds in the entire industry. 3 months later, no, sorry, we can't finance that. So that was, I learned how to fail. Something I really encourage. Honestly, failing is the best lesson. You win from success too, and that's the thing. You can create from absolute pain and anguish, you know, because that's what Rodin was about, that was Picasso about. You know, a ballet person will go, you know, there is no creativity without pain. And the other side, perhaps. You know, you can just create through absolute joy. And that's what I do. That's my passion, is to create from joy and terror.
You've done a good job at it.
I just want to start saying, that's a great act. I love that.
Oh, thank you. It's a Panama hat. I got this in Paris at the Au Printemps or something, because my favorite one that I had bought in Bilbao, I'm walking in the Paris tube, you know, you have, not the London tube, it's like da, 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 and you know, you get to a different hallway, and all the wind from every train that's ever existed goes blowing that way, and I took my hat and went, whee! And it flew about 40 feet onto the third rail. By heck.
But if you wouldn't mind me asking,
Oh, sure.
ask the real good important questions.
Yes. French bread.
What did you have for breakfast?
I have the same thing I have every morning. I have oatmeal, I have nuts, and I have berries. And then I have, because it's heart healthy, reduces cholesterol, blah, 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 blah. And then I have flax seeds and wheat germ for the vitamin D content and for the clearing of the arteries. It's what I have for breakfast every day.
And now so are we. Everybody's been having it for breakfast every day.
You know, it's really true. I've studied these during COVID. You know, there's a guy named Dr. Greger, who's completely food and plant-based dietitian and doctor, and he studies every study that comes out about everything medical in the world. And there are other people that have reversed the plaque, taken the plaque out of arteries just through the diet. Plus, you know, eating vegetarian, I try to eat more and more vegetables because it's our planet, and I like animals.
Oh, thank you. That's
I
what I wanted to know.
Spaghetti meatball. Oh yeah, thank you.
Who doesn't love a good meatball?
Yeah, Greger, Greger.
I love your voices as Mario, but I had a question on how you enjoyed the Dragon Ball Super movie where you played.
Oh, that was so fun. I played Magenta in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, and then in a game, and that was just so fun. Chris Sabat is like one of the greatest people in the world, you know. And he said, I might have a part for you in this. That's a little bit high pitched for him, but I might have a part for you if you want to read for it. And I said, sure, I'll read for it. You know, and I read Magenta. He goes, what are you doing next week? So I flew there to Dallas and we recorded, and it was totally a blast. Went to the premiere. Somebody made me a costume in Montreal or Toronto that would match his character colors. So I got pictures of me on the sort of like the red carpet and great fun. I have another project coming up too, but I can't talk about it because it's secret.
No spoilers, no spoilers. Don't tell us.
I can't tell you.
Hello.
Hello.
I guess what was your favorite, I gotta work on it.
Don't worry, it's just me.
Out of all the Mario games you voiced in, which one would you say is your favorite?
Yes. You know,
Good answer.
every one of them. I mean, Mario Teaches Typing, 64, Sunshine. Sunshine was a game that I feel is like, that possibly is the greatest game ever made. And it was Galaxy was absolutely fabulous fun. And the 3D world, that You know, we started that, and it's like, I went to LA, I watched we had an E3, and then, I see everybody has these kitty cat paws, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be fun. Meow, meow. So I go to the studio, I'm like, meow, meow. And then we send these things, very, very nice, but a little bit stronger, Okay, meow, meow. Very, very nice, a little bit stronger. Meow, meow. Very, very nice, a little bit stronger. I'm like, that was a blast, Every time, an actor going into as a voice actor going into a booth, is like, can you come over to our sandbox? We have a new toy. It's like, yippee! That's what you do,
All right, we have time for one.
Oh no, you're kidding me. Okay.
One last question.
Okay. I'm here the whole weekend.
Yes, you could. At the autograph table.
Yeah, we're at the autograph table. We're behind the real actors and the voice actors. And, but come by anytime. We're not supposed to talk, but get an autograph, get a photograph, and ask me a question. That's perfectly wonderful. Love it.
What was your favorite aspect about voicing Mario?
That's a beautiful question. Thank you. My favorite aspect, if anything, is touching people's heart, and that was always my intention, was to touch people's heart, to make their life just a tiny bit better by remembering the beauty and innocence of childhood, because that's what I put in Mario, and that was the determination that I made, is that it is the human I want to be, the innocence of a child with the caring, loving, trustworthiness, loyalty that I feel are the aspects of humanity that make us great, that make us really wonderful, and this is, here we are in America, who knows what's going to happen, but if we all, for our lives, can touch the innocence, the joy, the love, the purity of childhood, that was what I could ever ask to do, and I was given that gift magnificently. I also fit into a wet noodle very easily, just to say. That was just such a beautiful question. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think that we could all sit in here and be your best friend for the whole weekend.
Wouldn't that be fun? A weekend with Charles.
Let's do it.
Yay. Thank you guys. Thank you all so very much. I hope everybody has just not only a great weekend, a safe weekend, a happy weekend, and a happy, 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 wonderful life. Nobody deserves joy and happiness more than you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. You all deserve it. So, with much love and peace. Thank you.
Let's give it up, Charles Martinet.